GyanMed, an initiative for ICT-based teaching, learning and education by Institute for Excellence in Higher Education, Bhopal. This video is conducting the learning module for topic Fabric Preparation for Garment Construction. This topic is held under the Faculty of Fashion Design, targeted for BA Semester 2 students under the subject of Fashion Design Majors, Basics of Apparel Construction. I am Adisha Nigam, full-time faculty of Department of Fashion Design. Let's discuss what the video contains. The video will elaborate the learning outcomes of the module, its link to the previous topics, and continuation of the video will teach about the shrinkage, straightening and ironing of a fabric, pattern layout and its types, pattern markings and their symbols. Final summary and evaluation will be conducted at the end of this video.
Outcomes. After studying this lesson, you will be able to describe the need of fabric preparation before cutting, identify and perform how to prepare the fabric for cutting and stitching, state the meaning and objectives of pattern layouts and markings, identify different methods of pattern markings, and apply these concepts and conventions of fabric preparation for your next stitching projects. Link to previous topic. Your acquired knowledge of basic fabric construction, familiarization to product development, and apparel and fashion becomes the basis for this course. After a brief understanding of product development and understanding of fabrics and its utilization, fabric preparation stands as the next stage for garment product for cutting and its stitching.
Garment construction is a method in which a fabric is converted into a garment through the process of drafting and pattern making. Before making any drafting or pattern layouts on the fabric, it is very important to assure that the fabric is well arranged and settled for an Before transferring the drafting or pattern layout onto the fabric, it is very important to ensure that the fabric is plain and wrinkle-free, ready for transferring, drafting, cutting and stitching of the garment. For getting the fabric ready, it is important to ensure the fabric is shrink-proof, straightened and well ironed for being wrinkle-free. What is shrinkage? Shrinkage is described as the reduction in length and width of the cloth when washed. If a garment shrinks, it will ruin the fit of the garment constructed. Therefore, all fabric should be subjected to shrink-proof or shrinking before cutting and sewing. Shrinkage can be carried out in different methods. They also vary fabric to fabric. Different fabric qualities such as cotton, silk, georgette have different procedures to be followed for making it shrink-proof.
So, after selection or having an idea of what kind of fabric you need for your project, what is the need to prepare the fabric for cutting? Preparing the fabric before you cut is the first step for ensuring correct fit and fine quality stitching to your garment or final product. Not only this, fabric preparation helps in avoiding shrinkage of the stitched product. Fabric preparation helps in achieving a finished garment by avoiding fabric deformation after the product is stitched. It guides switching of correct garment or product components to develop the final product. It helps in estimating accurate quantity of fabric required for the project. Finally, it promotes economical usage of fabric and all the raw materials.
What is shrinkage? Shrinkage is described as the reduction in length and width of the cloth when washed. If a garment shrinks, if a garment shrinks, it will ruin the fit of the garment constructed. Therefore, all fabric should be subjected to shrink-proof or shrinking before cutting and sewing. Shrinkage can be carried out in different methods. They also vary fabric to fabric. Different fabric qualities such as cotton, silk, georgette have different procedures to be followed for making it shrink-proof. The next step that follows is ironing. Ironing is the procedure in which the fabric is laid over the table and roughly is spread out with hands and roughly is spread out with hands such that no wrinkles or creases are left on the fabric. Then hot iron is placed all over the fabric, making it wrinkle-free and crease-free and crisp enough to make patterns on the fabric. Now that our fabric is ready, we transfer the patterns onto the fabric. This specific procedure is termed as placement of patterns or pattern layouts. The placement of pattern onto the fabric is necessary to achieve an economical manner of garment construction. This means that the fabric patterns or draftings are placed in such a manner that sufficient fabric is used and wastage of fabric could be avoided. All the patterns should be arranged properly following the grain of the fabric such that correct layout can be achieved and sufficient fabric could be sourced. Now that our fabric is ready, we transfer the patterns onto the fabric. This specific procedure is termed as placement of patterns or pattern layouts. The placement of pattern onto the fabric is necessary to achieve an economical manner of garment construction. Without this, the fabric is avoided to be wasted. That is, this means that the fabric patterns or draftings are placed in such a manner that sufficient fabric is used and wastage of fabric could be avoided. All the patterns should be arranged properly following the grain of the fabric such that correct layout can be achieved and sufficient fabric could be sourced. Example of a bodice center front with the grain line or lengthwise direction of the fabric is necessary. The main points to be considered while laying patterns on the fabric are that there are few major points that has to be considered while laying patterns on the fabric. The fabric should be wrinkle free. That is, it is important to press the fabric without any wrinkles before laying the patterns. Place the fabric on a large or a hard flat surface for easy work. Place the larger patterns first. Place similar patterns together with same length. For example, placement of a bodice front and bodice back could be next to each other, such that the side seams are close to each other.
After understanding what are pattern layouts and why they are used, let's understand the types of pattern layouts. Types of pattern layouts are open layout, combination fold layout, lengthwise center fold layout, off-center lengthwise fold layout, crosswise center fold layout, off-center crosswise fold layout, and double fold or dovetailing layout.
Marking the pattern, marking the paper patterns. Marking is the process of transferring the paper pattern to the garment. After ironing, the fabric is well prepared and ready for transfer of draft plans on the fabric. For this, marking is followed. Marking is the process of transferring the paper pattern to the garment or fabric from which the garment has to be constructed. Great care is needed and every detail in paper pattern should be put on the fabric for cutting and sewing. The most important details are side seams, front and back cutting, and swing lines, hemlines, darts, folds, placements of pockets, fullnesses, notches, placement of openings, fasteners, and any other garment details and marking for any other special trims and laces or garment details. The different methods followed in marking. Marking is the process of transferring the paper pattern of the garment onto the fabric for construction of the garment. Great care is needed and every detail in paper pattern should be put on the fabric. Great care is needed while every detail is transferred or put on the fabric from the paper pattern. It should be on the fabric for cutting and sewing. The most important details are side seams, front and back cutting, swing lines, hemlines, darts, folds, placements of pockets, fullnesses, notches, placement of openings, fasteners, and any other special garment details such as trims or laces. There are various methods for marking, which includes marking for a which includes marking with a tailor chalk, dress markers, tracing wheel, carbon, and pin and threads.
So, to summarize today's class, we can conclude that application of well-planned pattern layout and precise fabric preparation helps in better construction of a garment with fine quality of stitching. Then, the width of the fabric, the noted fabric qualities such as the grain lines, the fabric pattern, the print, helps in assessing economic sourcing of the fabric. Also, the garment patterns that are to be placed according to the construction on the fabric are done more precisely and neatly, ultimately producing a fine quality stitching of the garment. A crucial fabric preparation also provides correct measurements of the draft onto the fabric and accurate stitching could be conducted ahead. So today we have learned about the basic tools, terms and techniques of fabric preparation before sewing, and you may develop your skills by completing a few simple projects and try on these projects